I love content. I really do. And content is huge right now in
Right.
the world. Content is a job, it's a business, it's a hobby, it's whatever you want it to be.
I can see like you turned it up a notch, and I can respect that also. And then you have your songwriting. I see you posted.
I have a show coming up July 30th at the Industrial. And what this show is, if you love like good vocals, like if you're like The Voice, American Idol agent.
Welcome back. Visit Vegas Places, baby. This is bonus. This is a bonus summer edition. Right here, this is for our digital creators, all our entertainers. When you're in the world of social media and all your platforms, you meet spectacular people that have all kind of gifts and talents. Myself, I'm very gifted to meet all kind of entrepreneurs, business owners, and entertainers. Now, I utilize three sources really for my guests. If a lot of you guys are podcasting and know, one platform that I really love to use is Podmatch, which gives me a high level of entrepreneurs and business owners. And then, of course, I use Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, which gives me my real down to earth and my locals. And then, of course, I have Patty. Shouts out to Chatty Patty. She gives me a whole lot of locals in Las Vegas also that are referred to me. Now, this one guest I have is very special. We've met a long time ago, and we planned to do this podcast show a long time ago. She disappeared, and then she came back as a beast. And she's doing a lot of noise. So she's from songwriting to live performances, from building her brand, creating content. My guest today knows how to entertain virtually and in person. Her content is based on her brand, her music, and her life. Let's welcome Dezi Marie. Dezi, thank you for joining us.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here right now. Really excited.
Finally got you. Yes, I'm glad you came. I'm glad. It's just, we have so much to talk about now. You're doing so great. I see all the content. I see you singing. Your voice is so beautiful too.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So just getting right to it, what is creating content? How do you think of your content to create each day?
Man, that's such a good question because it's a battle because I love content. I really do. And content is huge right now in the world. Content is a job. It's a business. It's a hobby. It's whatever you want it to be. But it's a way for people to express themselves. It's a way for people to get themselves out there. It's a way to be seen. It's a way to be able to change your life. It's a way for you to be able to express your life. And so when I make content, I used to really try to be meticulous and like, I need a niche down and where's my people going and where am I sending them to and da-da-da-da. And it was just too much for me. I have an entrepreneurial brain, so of course it's always trying to be meticulous, but at the same time, now I just post what my life is. And to the T, like if I'm crying for a day, my reel is me crying for a day. And I'm pretty sure you've seen my reel recently. If I'm crying for a day, then my reel is me crying for a day. If I'm, busy and doing things, I try to bring my fans and my people on the ride. But I just decided to be real and authentic in my life. And that's where I've pivoted. And obviously I'm still working on it because people still come up to me and they're like, so what is it that you do? Because your life just looks like your life looks like a musical. Like I've heard like your life looks like a musical. Like you're just everywhere all the time. And so obviously I have some work to do on that. But for the most part, I build fans and an audience on there because I'm just real and authentic in myself. And
that's right.
And it's more about the message and the journey than anything else for me right now.
I love it. You're doing a good job. That's what attracted you to me is that, and that was correct. Whoever said that, they hit it on the nail, the musical. And I was thinking of all your content. I'm like, yes, definitely. I can see a musical. And then your workout regime is just like ridiculous. I love it. I can see like you turned it up a notch, and I can respect that also. And then you have your songwriting. I see you posted a song on there. Let me know about your songwriting process. With so much going on, how do you come up with these songs and your idea of like which song to write? Or do you just go in the studio or do it, what they call freestyle?
So I actually have like 20 songs in my phone right now that I've written that the world just hasn't heard. I'm that artist. But I don't songwrite a lot. I have to be in a mood and or be forced into it almost by my friends that are like, you need to write. Like, what are you doing? You're so talented. But yeah, my songs that I've written, I write really fast. So I'll write a song in a day or in a whim. And I've written the song and it came out of nowhere and it's a song now. And I don't have some like planned thing where I write music on Wednesdays or anything like that. But I write songs either to beats or someone playing an acoustic guitar, or I play the piano. So I'll write to myself playing the piano. But my music is all over the place as well, just like the rest of my life, because I'm Latina. I write Latin music. I have like R&B music. I have kind of like a pop soul music.
Right,
I grew up in musical theater. I mean, but again, it all comes down to the story and the lyrics for me. So it's all about what am I feeling at that moment and how can I convey that into a song.
Like when you think of your own songs as an artist, what is your favorite song that you've wrote out of your whole entire career of writing? What is your favorite song and what was that song about?
Yeah, so my favorite song is not out. It's called Heartbreak Addict. And it's about people being addicted to getting their heart broken. Like you're in this cycle of it could be one person, or it could be you going and finding the wrong people or toxic relationships, and you know that it's not good for you, or you went through a situation and you're like, I can never do that again. I should never go through that heartbreak again. I should never let a person treat me like that again, or whatever the case may be. And you going back to it repeatedly, or you're going back to that person repeatedly. And it's almost like you're addicted to heartbreak. You're addicted to that feeling for some reason. And I wrote a song about that. It was inspired by a friend that was addicted to a certain person. And I wrote it in front of her and one night. And it's my favorite song I've ever written. And it's really, really good.
That is nice. Now, speaking of heartbreaks, before, like when I spoke into the introduction, when we met, you did go through a transition where you evolved. It was a powerful transition, which turned out for the better. Seems like you came out of a shell. If you don't mind sharing with the audience, that can probably inspire a lot of us that are going through content creating or even going through opening up a business, and then life happens. Sometimes it's okay to take that break and then you come back even more stronger. Could you let us know, enlighten us on that?
Yeah, I would love to. So yeah, when you reached out to me, I was in Pittsburgh, which I live in Vegas, clearly everybody, but I was in Pittsburgh visiting my dad, and I had just got out of a 6.5 year relationship. So basically like marriage, people. Okay. You just didn't put a ring on it. Let's just say, let's just call it how it is. So we lived together. It's the whole thing. So I just got out of a 6.5 year relationship, and I was visiting my father, who has been an alcoholic for a long time, and he was very sick, and I was worried about him. So I went to visit him, and that was kind of traumatic as well. So I was going through these life events where the people I loved were like either leaving my life or I was worried about them, or both. And I just shut down. Like I was like, I can't do social media. I can't work. I quit everything. I was like, I'm going to go crazy. I was and what made me do that is I was like, I was coming out of the wrong place. Like I was not coming from the right place anymore. I was doing actions that did not feel right to me. I was anxious. I was stressed. Things were coming out of like, I want this or the future or being, just a mess. And I just was like, I don't even care. I was like, I'm falling off the face of the earth. And I literally fell off the face of the earth. I mean, I wasn't answering text messages. And I'm not telling people to fall off the face of the earth because I was going through like a type of depression, I guess you could say. I don't like to label things, but I was secluding myself from the world and just being in my own thoughts and just being away. And all that stuff. And I needed to do that too. But I mean, it was not easy. But there came a day where I kept being like, okay, today's going to be the day. I'm going to come back to life. And I just kept putting it kind of to the side because especially with media, and I'm not a big star on social media or anything, but I have a pretty big following. And I knew that when I came back, there's going to be a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know if I was ready for the questions. It wasn't like I was just going to post a picture and people would be like, hey, they're going to be like, where did you go? What is going on? So I had to mentally prepare myself for that. And then I made a coming back video or reel or whatever and just got back to it. But yeah, I went through the hardest thing. I still am going through that. I mean, every day I still have my days, and I still am dealing with the relationship side of things, my family side of things. But this is what I'm meant to be doing. I'm meant to be focused on myself. And if anybody here is going through a relationship problem, when it's bad, when it's toxic, when things aren't right. It doesn't matter how long you deny it. My relationship, it wasn't anything dramatic. It wasn't that, we still love each other, but it wasn't good anymore for a long time. And we had to let go of a thought that we had of whatever the life we were going to live and completely start over and be like, that's not my story. That's not my story. That's not what Dezi Marie is supposed to be doing. That's not it. And that's pretty scary. Yeah.
I'm glad that, but your post was very powerful. We need more posts like that. You were right. A lot of us content creators, we don't really talk about the depression in that form of fashion or even coming out of it. It's almost like we need something to trigger us. We need the platforms to tell us hey, this is Awareness Day. Why can't we do it every day? We don't need to be told it's awareness of this. We need to be aware ourselves. And that's very important. Speaking on the toxic relationships, those are important to really let go. And it's hard to really let go because then it's almost like you don't want to hurt. You don't want to hurt someone else.
You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to.
And then you don't know what you're feeling. And it's more on the lines of what we always say, it hurts to leave, but it hurts more to stay.
To stay.
Yes. And that's the worst.
Oh my God. It's so bad. I could just go on for days about this.
Yes.
But no, and that's why, I started posting videos of me crying and stuff. It sounds so dramatic, but it's that's what I was feeling all day. I'm not going to post a picture of my bikini being life's beautiful because it's not reality. And there's so much stuff on social media that's not reality. The reality is those some days I'm a hot mess. That's that's the reality. And then some days I'm Superwoman, and today's one of the days I'm Superwoman, by the way. Today's
that's right. Every day you're Superwoman. You are. You just, and that's what I was telling you before. You're not alone. And during those times, now, the Lord's will, you're here talking about it. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that don't get to tell their story because they didn't reach out or they secluded themselves. So, going forward, I want to let you know, you always, you can call me or text me or anything, no matter what's going on. And that's for anyone out in the audience. Don't ever feel like you're alone or even feel that someone that you think don't understand, you probably wouldn't even feel that I would understand, which I actually been through that myself. So I do understand. I can relate.
I mean, I think anyone listening here, trust me, people, even Coyal, when he got me on here before we started the podcast, he was like, you're doing great. I see your content, And I'm like, thank you. And yeah, people are doing great. People look like they're doing great. But I'm going to tell you right now, people who have problems with watching, comparison problems, social media problems, they're going through stuff too. You just don't see it and they're not willing to show it.
That's right.
It's happening. I promise. People have laundry. People don't do their dishes. I mean, that's simple things.
You're right.
But sometimes you're staring at your laundry and I'm like, do other people do this? Do other people leave it on their bed for 3 days? Or is it just me? Or do I have a problem?
Right. So I mean, but you never know what other people going through. And it's funny, even the discussion we had when I said you should podcast. I'm like, you definitely should. And you're like, I want to do video. And then I'm looking at you, I'm like, damn, you're right. And you don't even know that I love to do video. You know, my ultimate dream was to be a video podcast. I tried it first and it failed. So that's why I'm doing audio.
So why did it fail? Question mark.
Because it was my first time and I didn't know, how to do it all and have everything. Yeah. So now I do. Okay. You know what I mean?
Well, you can just transition into it.
I could transition it, but at the same time, would I want to transition it with this, or should I just come out new with Sean? So now I have more avenues, right?
I got options.
There you go. So it always works out, in the long run from you. Like you, when I was saying, like you came back, and I have the best you, to where It would have been cool if I would have had the first you on the podcast. Now we could have compared, like, look, listen to that one. Now listen to this one.
I know.
So but you're doing good. And then stay exercising. I see you're exercising, and I can tell that it has something to do with your happiness. I can tell you have to exercise.
I have to exercise.
There are people I know that are like that. Their whole life is not, if they don't exercise or get that day in of fitness, it's going to be a shambles.
If I go 4 days without going to the gym, I lose my shit. Like, I can't. Yep. Like, I'm like, I need to go. And I don't know if you know this or how far back you stalked me for. But for listeners on here, about 5 years ago, was probably like 230 pounds. I was overweight my whole life. And now I'm like, not that numbers matter, but so you can get a visual representation. Right. I'm like 160 pounds now. So almost like 70 pounds lost. And I did all of that through working out and learning about nutrition. And I did it all naturally. I did it all myself. I didn't do some like crazy yo-yo something or other, no surgery, nothing against it. I'm just saying that's why I love it, because I feel like I can do anything now that I've lost 70 pounds, completely changed my life, completely changed my body. And it reminds you every day that I did that. And it reminds me that the journey is never over. Like, I have so many goals, goals, fitness goals. So yeah, the gym is a big part of my life. And I try to talk about that too.
You're doing good at it. Yeah. Yep. Keep up the good work, Dezi. Now, audience, you hear Dezi's background, what she's juggling all this wise, been through trials and tribulations, been through the fire, came out of the fire, still doing her thing. All right. Now, you can catch Dezi live. All right. She has a beautiful voice. She has 2 events coming up. And these events she's going to share. Let's get with the first events that's coming up, which is Saturday on the 30th of July. Mm-hmm. Let us know about the event and what can we expect, Dezi.
Yes. Okay. So guys, let me paint a picture. Okay. Dezi Marie, you're like, who is, this is already random. See? No, but here's my thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I am a singer. I grew up singing. I grew up in musical theater. I went to school. I went to business school, and I went to vocal performance school because I couldn't choose. And I live in Las Vegas. During the day, I work for Boss Babe Inc., and I help women build companies. And at night, I sing on the Strip. And I have my own clothing branding company called BitterSweet Lifestyles that I created during the pandemic. And it's all about embracing your low moments because they make you who you are. It's a clothing brand that's associated to my singing and my music. So it's like kind of like my brand with Dezi Marie. And so I have a show coming up July 30th at the Industrial. And what this show is, if you love like good vocals, like if you're like The Voice, American Idol, AGT fanatic, and people just come up and you're like, what in the world did I just watch? This is the show for you. This is not some boo-hoo like street show. Like there's going to be past American Idol singers, past AGT singers, past The Voice singers. There's going to be people from the Strip that play like Celine Dion. Like it is the real deal. It's on July 30th at the Industrial. You can snag tickets at singersla.com. And this show has actually been in LA for 5 years. It's the first time it's traveling to Vegas. And they're trying to bring some of it here. And so there's 12 singers from LA coming all the way to Vegas, 12 singers from Vegas.
Wow.
Show, stop, and show. I mean, it's going to be incredible. And so I'm going to be a part of that. I'm going to be singing 2 songs in that. And I think my brand's going to be there. I think I'm going to be able to pop up. But we'll see about that. So there might be my
Oh
clothes
yeah.
involved, but
Yes.
yeah.
Let's get out there and support. So like this summer bonus is aired specifically for Dezi to get the crowd up. You guys to be aware of this event on the 30th. You want to make sure you're there. This is at the industrial event space. You can definitely either see it in the show notes where you can click onto the link. Also on Dezi's platforms. Dezi, what is your social media platforms where they can find you?
Of course, my love. No, I'm kidding. It's Dezi Marie, Dezi Marie, and then LV for Las Vegas. So Dezi Marie LV. That's Dezi Marie LV, and then you can find me on Instagram with that. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music under Dezi Marie. You can find me on Facebook, I think under Desiree, which is my real name. Now you guys know my real name. Desiree Marie. And then if you find me on Instagram, I have all my links to everything on my bio.
That's right. Yeah, and I see she has her link tree right there on her Instagram. Also, check out her brand, you guys. She has I love the brand. That's very innovative, BitterSweet, and then you have the lemon with the cherry on there. That's real catchy. I like that.
Thank you.
You're busy too this summer. You have another event that is August 3rd. Squeeze in that event, and this is at the new Plaza Sand Dollar. Let us know about that
and
event.
It's popping, y'all. So it's the Funk Jam, and every week it's more packed in there, and y'all are missing out. It's a time. The bar is packed. People are dancing. The bands are amazing. It's like the place to be on Wednesday night. It really is a good time. Like, bring your friends, have some drinks, and like the music's so much fun, and people just go out there and freestyle. Like, it's just a vibe. It's a vibe.
Perfect. Yeah, I love the Sand Dollar. I've been going to the old one since back in 2000. And this one, the new one, I will be there to support you and check out the new Plaza Sand Dollar. Yes. Now, is the Funk Jam tickets you have to purchase?
No,
or either one you have to purchase?
Show up and you walk in. Right. So very easy.
But for the singers one, the first one, tickets you have to purchase, correct?
Yeah, you have to purchase tickets, and it is a nonprofit event. So we're actually raising money for the ELF Foundation, which raises money for children's mental health. So the entire event, all the tickets and all that stuff are going to that specific nonprofit, which is even more amazing because we need to be funding that at this time in life.
Right. With everything going on. Great music from great people for a great cause. You can't beat that.
Look at that slogan.
I know. You remember the slogan that you remember? You got to write it down now. Dezi we was talking about platforms, and I was telling Dezi that yes, you're taking off. And I said, like rockets just don't take off. Rockets need a platform to take off on. Yeah. So that's why, hence the word platforms is where you start to take off. So she's definitely taking off. That. She is taking off. Again, you guys need to check her out. I have her social media handles in the show notes, so you guys can click on that and go right to her, okay? Dezi Marie.
Yes.
Now, Dezi, before I get you out of here, we're going to get to the personal side of you and play this or that. And then we're going to see how very, very Vegas you are, okay?
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh, God. Okay.
All right. So the first one, this or that. I'm going to give you two options, and you just let us know your preference of either or. So when it comes to your music, hip-hop, the genre, would you prefer 90s hip-hop or the early 2000s hip-hop?
I think the early 2000s.
Yeah, the early 2000s? Yeah. All right.
I think so.
Yeah, I was like a mixture of both,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I have a mixture, but I grew up. Of course, I'm older, so the '90s, but the 2000 had a little more catch and twist to it.
Yeah, I have good memories of the 2000s.
Right, but it was more too in the 2000s. You remember in the '90s, we knew a handful who was what. In the 2000, kind of opened up range, more styles, more people. Yeah. And now it's just flooded. Like I can hear something like, "Who is that?" You remember back in the days, you used to know who was who, right?
You're like, "Oh, yeah, exactly."
Now you don't know nothing.
You're like, "Who that?"
All right. So their next one, Vegas. You're out here in Vegas. You know how it is with the weather. Do you prefer Vegas heat or Vegas winter cold? So summer heat or winter cold for Vegas?
That's a hard one.
Right.
Because it doesn't get that cold here. So I guess the cold, but I'm not bothered by the heat. Because I hate humidity, so it's not humid here, so I'm peachy keen right now. I hate humidity. So, but it doesn't get that cold. I'm going to say, I guess, cold because it gets way too hot sometimes, but I'm not bothered by the heat. I'm not one of those.
Nah, I love the heat too. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's funny too when you have guests that come in from like other parts of the states, and it's like 100 only at night, and you're like, man, this feels good, and they're like dying. So
yeah,
funny.
I know. I just had some people here, and they're like, "How do you do this?" And I'm like, "How do you do 10 degrees?" Like, right. I don't know.
Right.
I'd rather do this.
Yeah, I think after the second year, you get alligator skin here. That second and third year, if you hear straight, then you're immune to the heat.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So this one, we're going to end this feud. I remember it was a top challenge last year. You remember during the pandemic. Now, I don't know if you know or which one do you like. When it comes to the chicken sandwich, Popeyes or Chick-fil-A? Which one? Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
I got to go with my OG. Yeah. But you know what? Here's the new feud. Because my brother is obsessed with Chick-fil-A. Panera's spicy chicken sandwich. Have you had it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, there is not enough hype about this sandwich, okay? I'm literally about to make a reel of me trying all three. Like, it might be better than both.
Yeah?
And I was telling my brother, and he was like, no, there's no freaking way. Da-da-da-da-da. I got him one like 2 days ago. He bit into it, and he was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Let's do the review then together. You take me and I'll shoot the review. You're going to take me to Panera and we're going to review it together.
We have to bring a Chick-fil-A sandwich, a KFC sandwich, and a Panera sandwich.
Okay, let's do that.
And we have to sit there and freaking eat it.
All right, we're going to collaborate and do that, okay?
All right, because I got to know. We're
going to do that before the show. So we're going to do that before the show. We'll plan that off the line, okay?
We have a week.
Okay, that's nothing. All right, yeah, we'll do that. All right, cool.
I'm down for a chicken sandwich. That's feeding me.
Me too. So the next one, we're going to see how very, very Vegas you are. And I think you got this. You're pretty Vegas. I can tell. At which hotel is King Tut's tomb and museum located? Which hotel is King Tut's tomb and museum located? Is it the Venetian? Is it the Luxor? Or is it Caesar's Palace?
It's the Luxor?
Yeah. It's the Luxor, baby. Yeah, it's actually
King Tut, baby.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't know it was in there. Like the King Tut's Museum is on the mezzanine. It's called the mezzanine floor, and it's above the main floor. So when you're in Vegas, you guys check that out at the Luxor, okay?
Yeah, cool. No, that's like the King Queen vibes. You gotta go there.
Right.
It's like Egyptian mood, Egyptian feels.
Dezi. It's always a pleasure. You have good vibes. We're going to do that review. So you're going to take me to Panera. We're going to compare all the chicken sandwich and we're going to end that. Give my audience your social media handles before.
All right, one more time. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you listen to this all the way, support your boy and leave him a review. You know what I mean? And check me out on social media. You won't regret it. I promise. I'm a trip. Anyway, Dezi Marie, DeziMarielv. Always putting positive vibes. If you need motivation to go to the gym, I'll probably give you that too. And tap in. Yes. You guys check her content out. She's very positive. I like it. Like I get inspirations from looking at her reviews. You know, she's one of the content creators that I go a lot and like, let me see what Dezi's up to. And you have a beautiful voice. You need to post more singing ones too. You know, I was looking like, man, I need her to do more of those. You really do. I know. I have one in my draft right now.
Yeah. Or just do one of those like quick ones like you did with the Stigma songs. Like do a quick one like that. Yeah. Just give us a little. It don't have to be too long, you know. You got so much stuff. Start breaking it down and give it to us. Give it to the world. Stop holding on.
I'm getting yelled at. I know. You know, we're always in our own way.
That's right.
I'm a perfectionist, so it's my biggest battle for sure. Right.
But I got your back, though, and I appreciate you for joining us on Visit Vegas Places. Audience,
Yes.
I want to thank you for tuning in. I know you guys could have been anywhere, but you came here.
Yeah.
Check the show notes. Check out Dezi, and I'll see you guys. Don't forget, August 3rd is season 3, so this is a bonus. I dropped this here, a bonus. I'm on vacation right now and working, right? But August 3rd, season 3 is a whole new level. You guys, Dezi, I'll see you. I love you and I thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Anytime. I got you. All right. You guys make sure you look out for Dezi.
We're going to have to do another one like 6 months. You're going to be like, oh, what's he doing?
And see where you're at now. Follow up, most definitely. You guys make sure you check Dezi out. This is on the 30th, and this is at the Industrial Event Space for the Singers Vegas. And then also on 3rd, which is August 3rd at the Funk Jam, which is at the Plaza $10. All right, you guys. Love you guys. Check you out. On August 3rd, you guys will be back. Thank you, and I love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.